Chapter 2 Frostbane. The group eventually reached the remains of an ancient frozen city buried beneath ice cliffs. Broken statues stood everywhere. Warriors, kings, monsters, all frozen solid. At the center stood a massive black fortress covered in frost chains. Ancient symbols glowed across the walls. Elida examined them carefully. These aren't warnings, Venomir stepped beside her. They're prayers. A cold chill spread through the group. Then the fortress gates opened on their own. Slowly. Creak. Inside waited hundreds of frozen corpses standing upright like statues. And upon the throne sat the Frost King. 5. A tall ancient ruler wrapped in tattered frozen robes slowly rose from the icy throne. Pale frost spread across his skin while glowing blue eyes watched the intruders carefully. Beside the throne stood Frostbane. A towering undead giant with pale frozen flesh and a massive bloated belly. Ice spikes protruded from both shoulders like jagged frozen blades while glowing blue eyes stared lifelessly across the hall. In its hands rested a gigantic iron mallet covered in deadly ice spikes. The weapon radiated death itself. The Frost King slowly stood. "You are not of this world." His voice echoed unnaturally. Jep stepped forward. "We're just passing through." The Frost King raised one hand. Frostbane immediately stepped forward like a loyal executioner. Then died quietly. The corpses suddenly awakened. The undead army charged. Chaos erupted. Lucifer danced through enemies with smooth precision while taunting them. "Honestly, your skincare routine is terrible." He spun beside Ikashin while deflecting an undead warrior. "You know, surviving frozen death traps together is technically considered romantic." Ikashin rolled her eyes while cutting down another enemy. "Focus before I let Frostbane crush you." 6. Lucifer smirked. "So protective already. I am literally threatening you. And yet I still feel special." Ikashin fought beside Jep fiercely while helping coordinate wounded members away from the center of the battle. A frozen blade suddenly broke through the chaos straight toward both Ikashin and Impanoi. Before either of them could react, Jep intercepted it. Clang. The impact echoed across the throne room. Frost spread violently across Jep's blade as he forced the undead warrior backward. Ikashin stared briefly. "You blocked that for us." Jep kept his eyes on the battlefield. "You're both more useful alive." Impanoi gave a faint amused smile despite the chaos around them. Still terrible at sounding emotionally supportive. Another undead charged toward Ikashin from the side. Jep immediately stepped between them again, cutting the creature down before it could touch her. "You should be protecting yourself too," Jep warned. Ikashin looked at the fresh frost wound forming along his arm. "And you should stop throwing yourself in front of every attack." 7. Nearby, Impanoi cut down another undead warrior before stepping beside them. Another wave of undead approached. Ikashin immediately moved toward an injured NDK member, quickly treating a deep wound even while the battle continued around them. "Hold pressure there," she instructed calmly. Lucifer watched the scene while fighting. "You know, being emotionally supportive and medically competent is honestly unfair levels of attractive." Ikashin sighed. "We are literally in the middle of a death fortress. And yet my point still stands." Veronica and Harley fought back to back while arguing the entire time. "You're smiling too much. You're staring at me too much. That's because you're reckless. That's because I'm beautiful." Meanwhile, Impanoi coordinated everyone calmly. Defensive triangle formation. Protect the center. RYKD sniped enemies from ruined pillars. 3 left side. 2 approaching Gypsy. "I see them," Gypsy pianist replied softly before unleashing sonic shockwaves through the frozen hall. The entire fortress shook. But the Frost King gave a silent command. Frostbane himself entered the battle. And suddenly everything changed. One swing froze half the battlefield instantly. 0 troops barely rolled away. Nope. Absolutely nope. Frostbane marched forward like death itself while the Frost King watched coldly from the throne. Even Harley stopped smiling. Then Jep walked toward him alone. Snow and ice spiraled around them. Jep raised his blade. Jep versus Frostbane. The clash shattered the throne room.